Hello and welcome to Autism Talk. Once again, I am so appreciative for you coming out and clicking on my videos to listen to me share some information about autism or special education services. I've been doing a series on IEP meetings, and I believe my last video was about all right, yes, a checklist on IEP meetings. So you're receiving your IEP notification, making sure you respond within the date. If you agree with the dates that they've given you, then you go ahead and agree with it. If not, let them know that you want to change some dates, provide some alternate dates for them. Or if you're willing to do it on the phone or via Zoom, or if they can hold the IEP without you, you can give them permission for that. um, and those things and the things that they should be covering and trying to get yourself prepared for an IEP meeting, having a conversation with your child, what's going on, things that you've noticed is going on with your child, with academics, socially, things like that, and bring that to the meeting also. Okay. Also, if you wanted to record the IEP, you definitely need to let them know in advance. You can't do it the day of. And I don't know if I mentioned to you, but you can bring others into the IEP meeting that you would like to bring with you to the IEP meeting. It could be your cousin, your niece, a lawyer, whoever you're an advocate. You get to decide who you would like to have in that IEP meeting, in addition to um, those that will be there representing the child from the school or the district or anything. Okay. Now, I want to go into your role during the IEP meeting. I think the last one was, things that you should do before the IEP meeting. But now I want to go over something that's, your role during the IEP meeting. Okay, this IEP process. For starters, when you're in that IEP meeting, make sure you're introduced to everyone at the meeting. You don't know who they are, find out who they are, okay? The only persons in that room should be participating in the IEP meeting. There should not be anyone over in the corner working on something else, because this IEP meeting is private, okay? So if it's somebody over in the corner working, you need to find out who they are and what they are and how do they contribute to this IEP meeting, okay? So make sure you are introduced to everyone at the meeting. And if their title is not determined, ask in what capacity they serve in your child's IEP meeting, okay? So you need to know who was there and how they contribute to this IEP meeting. All right. While you're in there, and once you've been introduced to everyone knows who you are and you know who they are, you can write down notes. All right. Because some IEP meetings can have 20 people in there. Some IEP meetings can have 5 people in there. So it may become difficult to keep up with who is who in this IEP meeting. So take a tablet with you, definitely, or use your phone to keep some notes. I would suggest a tablet because it might go a little fast. You trying to pull up things and trying to text on your phone, so you may be able to write quicker. I'm assuming, so you can write down the people's names and their titles and what they do, how they contribute. All right, these are for your personal notes. This does not go into the IEP. This is for you. You may have a question that you want to address to a specific person. Okay, you might have a question and you want someone's input on it. Okay, but you do want to know what capacity they all participate in this IEP. Also, after you know who's there and you know who's who and what they do, you want to actively listen. All right, you're not just sitting there just letting them shoot words at you and da, da, da. Actively listen when they say something that you do not understand or you questioning or you may have an input to. You may raise your hand or excuse me, and you may ask questions about it, or that notebook you took in there, Write down your question. When they mentioned this was your question to that. You want to address that, right? So you can write down your questions as they're speaking. Okay. So you're actively listening, not just sitting there daydreaming and wondering what's going, thinking about what's happening at home, or if you was at work at this time, or what you're going to cook for dinner. Pay attention. You're actively listening. You're watching them, their body language. You're watching their eyes, look into their eyes. You're watching their lips, their mouths, and everything. You're actively listening, and you're participating when you're listening. They may ask a question and you're like, yes, I agree with that, or no, no, that's not what I observed, those things like that. So make sure you're actively listening. You want to also share your child's needs, strengths, and what motivates him or her. Okay. That helps a lot in an IEP meeting. They'll come with their strengths. Remember, they're coming from an academic level. You're going to come from social interaction with family, in the public, things like that. And they're confined within the walls or the gates of school, how the child is performing. So they're going to give you the academics. They'll also even give you some social, but it's within those walls or the gates of the school environment. So how does that child carry over what they've learned there within those walls or gates outside of the perimeters? Okay, so you get to bring that experience to them and share that. So some of the child's needs, what he needs to do. Oh yeah, I think he needs to, be a little more verbal, or I need him to, whatever your concerns are. And then some strengths, like he's really good at, and then you're giving things that motivate him, like, oh gosh, if you share with him that he can have 5 minutes of playtime with his Lego thing, toy, you'll come up with those things, or any type of treats or snacks or whatever motivates them. Okay. Some free time, some quiet time, some music time. Those things are very helpful. Okay. So those are the things that you would share during the IEP meeting. You'll also give your input and feedback. All right. Make sure you input what you know. Give that information. Give those needs, those strengths, what motivates him. Give those concerns that you have, and also give your feedback. Like, no, I don't think that works, because at home when he does, and he doesn't want to come to school on the next day because he had so much homework or whatever it may be. Make sure you give your feedback. Ask questions, especially if the team is referring to some terms which you are not familiar with. If you don't, like, I don't know what that is. Could you explain that to me, please? What does that mean? What does that actually entails? What does that say? Ask specifically. Don't think that, oh no, I'm not going to ask that. It's going to make me look like I don't know. You don't know. Ask. There are some terms within those IEP meetings that the lay person or layman will not know. Only those that are familiar with IEPs, doing them constantly, 30 or 40 times a year, if not more. And they have these terms that they just run through, it's just automatic for them. But you're not doing that. If you have one child in special education, receiving special education services, you're only going through these terms once a year. They're going through these terms, Lord knows how many times a year. Okay. So even if you've forgotten a term, or if they come up with a brand new term, please ask, what does that mean? What does that entail? What does that look like? What does that mean in real time right now? What is that? Okay. Do not feel intimidated. Ask. You are part of the team. You are part of the team. I'm going to say it one more time. You are part of the team, and it is a team. It's not you against them. It's not us against you. You're a team and you're working together. You have specific, important information that is impactful for that child's education. Make sure you provide that information. They have important, impactful information that they know that helps to the success of that child. They provide that information, and you guys work together to come up with goals, objectives, things to help motivate him to reach his goals and objectives. Okay. Things that need to be addressed. Okay. Great. Make sure, like I said, once again, take notes. You have questions, write your questions down. They can be speaking. You're like, oh, I don't want to cut them off in the middle of their sentence or whatever. So write your question down and take notes for things that you don't understand. Yes, they're going to give you a copy of that IEP, but that doesn't mean you understand the things on that page. Okay. So take notes. Take notes. When they say something, or you've even asked a question on them explaining something to you, write it down. You might forget later when you leave this IEP, because remember, you got other things to do once you leave this IEP meeting, okay? So you're not going to be focused on everything in this IEP meeting. Write notes, and you can always reflect on that or refer to that later, okay? Make sure that you are an equal partner in this decision-making process. It's not them against you. It's not they make all the decisions and you just go along with it. It's a team. Each person, each participant in this team has an equal participation in this. And we're to collaborate and come together and come up with a decision for the child. What's best for the child, not what's best for the teacher, not what's best for the psychologist, not what's best for the parent, but what's best for the child to be successful in his education. All right. This IEP is for his education program. It's an individualized education program. Okay. So that's what I want to share with you on this time, your role during the IEP meeting, okay? Some quick reviews or some walkaways. Grab yourself a notebook so you can take notes, okay? In that IEP. Believe me, you need notes in that IEP meeting. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. And remember, you are a partner in this. You're a team. You are a partner in this. You are a team. All right. It's not one person that makes all the decisions. You are a team. All right. If you have special requests, ask. Put it on there on the table. Explain your reasoning and your rationale why. Okay. Yes. All right. So thank you for listening to my video on your role during an IEP meeting. I think my next video will be on tips on communicating in an IEP meeting. I mentioned in my last video that school is about to start and IEP meetings are about to start also. So remember, if your child is receiving special services or anyone you know that have a child that's receiving special services, they must have at least one IEP meeting a year. That's just the beginning, all right? One IEP meeting a year, but they can have more, but at least one, all right? Minimum one, and that's their annual, okay? Thank you for everything. If you have any questions or some comments, make sure you put them in the comment section for me. I also have my email listed below in the description. You can email me. If you'd like to do a one-to-one with me, I do a one-to-one consultation for about 5 minutes. I'll do that for free with one another. If you need any time longer than that, then we can set up an appointment where we can do some consultations and I'll try to help you out with any questions or concerns that you have and try to point you in the right direction if I'm unable to answer the questions that you have. Okay, so once again, thank you for watching my video. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you share the information, my YouTube channel, with others, and subscribe. Please subscribe. That's very important to subscribe. I get a kick out of seeing how many subscribers I have, and I'm brand new at this, and so I'm excited. So thank you for helping me build my subscription up. All right. Thank you. Have a great day.